you live from the football house in Kanfu, and welcome on board to this for these qualifiers. We have the head coach, Mr. Yahya Manneh, in the middle, flank coach Lamin Sane, and on my immediate left, and at the far side is Bakari Sanan, the team trainer, and of course we are here for the unveiling of the squad for the upcoming WAFU AFCON qualifiers in Mali. We all know that the draw has been done, and the Gambia is in Group A alongside Guinea-Bissau, Liberia, and of course the host Mali. So we will discuss at length with the coach as per the groupings, and of course his level of preparation as far as the qualifiers is concerned. First, let me allow coach to say a few words, and of course we will start with coach by him telling us how far he has gone with the preparation. We know he was on a nationwide tour during the initial stages of this preparation, and the scouting was done countrywide, after which a screening also was done at the National Technical Training Center in Jundum. And after the screening, the regular training also began in earnest, and still the team is training at the National Technical Training Center. But today we are at a very crucial stage, that is the unveiling of the squad. We know the Gambia will be playing on the 5th against Guinea-Bissau in the first game, and of course, but before then, coach, welcome to this press conference. Update us on the how far the team has, the preparation is, and of course, starting with the nationwide tour. So how did it come about, and what are some of the successes that you will identify that of course, it was worthwhile to do that nationwide tour?
Yeah, thank you.
You can go ahead.
Yeah, thank you.
There's a live streaming also. Yes. So, coach, you can.
Yeah, thank you, Ibrahim, for having us here this afternoon. And say assalamu alaikum to you all here and the media house respectively represented here. As you rightly said, the under 17 started its activities. The planning phase actually started since after our exit from the AFCON in Morocco. That's why the planning phase started to plan for the WAFU. So in doing so, we send our report to the technical directorate, which we are under directly, and from there on, approval was given. So we went through a national tour to be able to make scouting. So we started from North Bank all the way to Basse and down to Banjul. So during the course of the scouting, we came across to almost 405 players. Then after the scouting, we were able to trim down the number potentials amongst the lot that we've seen during this the scouting. So that was the completion of the first phase, that is the scouting. Then from there on, because I believe we've learned a lesson during the last WAFU. So what we did here is this time around, after the scouting, when we sublisted the number of players that was 75, before we started the training, we had to go for an X-ray test. So because as far as under 17 is concerned, the age requirement is needed, but also to further qualify a player, you need to have to pass the MRI test. So the MRI test has different levels. That's from level 1 to level 6. So after when we went through the X-ray test, we have radiologists who may able to interpret the images for us. So the players that they shortlisted, that these players can be potentially within the MRI grading, those are the players that we are able to call upon for training, and they were like 45 players that we have to do. So on those 45 players is where our screening started. So we started screening on those 45 players, and the screening phase, the scouting tour started on the 18th and ended on the 23rd of August. Then from there on, the X-ray test, we had a week from the 25th to the 29th of August, where we did the X-ray test. Then on the screening phase of the 45 players, it started on the 8th, on the 8th of September towards the 19th. So immediately after the 19th, from the 45, we shortlisted 30 players which were to go for the MRI test. So then we send those 30 players to the MRI test in Dakar, because not only the X-ray can be able to establish what you wanted, then we have to be sure of the MRI grading as per the regulations of the tournament. So we send the 30 players to the MRI test. We had only 4 players who got level 6, which is an X automatically out from the U17. Then we had 1 player who had +5, but +5 also we cannot be able to take the player to the tournament because it's risky. Within a week, the group sports can be fused, and eventually we will have to lose numbers. So we took out all those 5 players and focused on the 25 players, which were from grade 1 to level 4. So these were the players we focused on, and today marked the day that we were able to cut the number to the requirements of. So the MRI took place in Dakar on the 20th of, and they came back that very night. Then we had Sunday and Monday off. So when they came forward, then Monday had to be a day that they have to work on their passports, which was well done. Then from there on up to today is when we started the effective training for the WAFO campaign.
Interesting, Coach. Thank you so much for that rundown of activities for the WAF. Now, before you do the unveiling, Gambia won, which is the bronze medal finals, and of course, Liberia. Your impression and your reaction as per the.
Yeah, well, the teams that we are drawn with in the same group, we had a test with them in the past WAFU. We played against Guinea-Bissau, we played against Liberia, we played against Mali. So having got their taste, so now it's a different setup, because under 17, it's very rare to have players that play like 2 or more consecutively in a U17 tournament, because the growth sport can get fused. Then even having the required age, then you can't be allowed to play because of the MRI test. So when we played against them, we've learned a lesson. Though we won Guinea-Bissau on penalty shootout, we won Liberia also, and we lost to Mali in the semi-final. So losing to Mali on that day, to me, was very courageous, looking at the developmental aspect of it, because before our meeting with Mali, they didn't concede any goal. So our plan was try to unlock their defense line, which we are able to score 2 and eventually try to win. But at the end of the day, the strength of the Malian team were, to be honest, ahead of us, that they were able to win by 3 goals to 2. So with the other teams, I think we are preparing, but also they are preparing. So we will ensure that we are able to get the best out of our players, our athletes, for this phase.
Thank you so much. Now we go to the unveiling, the squad, and of course, then we will have our colleagues to pose any questions so that coach will have time to go through all those questions. Take us through the squad.
Yeah, as per the requirements of the Confederation of African Football through the sub-regional zonal committee, that's WAFU A, this year's tournament, as we know, is to be hosted in Bamako, Mali, from the 5th to the 21st of October. So, and the rules and regulations, it states like all countries are to register 21 players, and these 21 players, with strict emphasis, you cannot add on. So the players that were able to show the impression during the course of the screening and other engagements. Uh, they were a lot. So a day like today, I think is a very tedious one because you have to make a decision. But that's what our job is all about. So on the team, we registered two goalkeepers in the name of Mohamed Trawale from Gambino Stars Football Academy. We have Mohamed Seka, a goalkeeper from Sibek Bison International Football Academy. We have Usman Tamba, wingback from United World Stars Football Academy. We have Mohamed Danso, wingback, KJ Sports Football Academy. We have Samsidin Toure, a centre back from Kairaba Football Academy. Barham Biti, a centre back from Almasi Football Academy in Nigeria. We have Pa Omar Sajo, a midfielder from Ihsona Football Academy. Lyman Job, a midfielder from Diba Oil Football Academy. Augustine Junior Mendy, a midfielder from Seeds Football Academy. We have Sambujan Dafe, a midfielder from TVB Football Academy. Barak Lamin Mundik Mane, a midfielder from SB Koslak FC in Germany. We have Abdullah Samba, a midfielder from Medina United Football Academy. Modulum, a winger from BK West Football Academy. We have Lamin Bojang, a winger from TMT Football Academy. Moses Gomez, a winger from Better Tomorrow Football Academy. Alaji Baba Lee, a forwarder from Angel de Refik FC in Senegal. And we have our captain, Aliou Dame, a forwarder from Barcelona FC. And we have Ahmed Jundu Kanyi from Sporting Supreme FC in Nigeria. We have Vicente Mendy, a forwarder from Kiswi Talent Football Academy. Bakari Marong, centre forward, Jam City Football Academy. And Babukar Marong, a centre forward from Sotokoi Football Academy. So these are the 21 players who are able to make the list for this WAFU coming up in Mali.
Interesting. And yes, you have Babukar Bojang also, right?
Yes, Babukar Bojang from Sotokoi Football Academy.
Yes. Those are the 21 players unveiled by the coach as those that are lucky enough to represent the Gambia in the upcoming. Without much ado, I will allow to pose in questions and first. To pose in questions and first.
The composition of Honest, I'm so impressed with the level of players. I'm so impressed with the level of players I've seen so far. Yeah, man.
Congratulations first for your license.
Yeah.
My name is also an investigative journalist. Considering your nationwide length and breadth of the country, but considering the list before me, I'm not a technician. Possibly you identify talents, but they might not meet your standard. That's why they have been dropped. And the purpose was to decentralize. It so that everybody can see themselves as Gambian. The move is welcoming, but I haven't seen most players, one or two from NBA, and others. Can you explain why, in a sense that not tradition, encouragement you give them, because once you go there, take some of them and drop. If they don't hear your encouragement, two, gathering the facts of my investigation, I understand the team is still at the cup, and you are going to play. You train with the team in the morning. Footballers go. How do because as far as I'm concerned, I focus more on development than result.
Yeah. Thank you for your questions. For the first one, as you rightly mentioned, we went to this national tour. We forced the men to see that everybody in the Gambia sees himself within the team. So, let's say Sambujang is a midfield player. He was here in the WAFU and in the AFCON. So, if you want to maintain or get a spot in the team, can you prove something better than Sambujang? then eventually you will get a spot. So if you are a center forward, Vicente as an example, he went to the AFCON, scored 3 goals. I mean, I'm coming from the bench scoring that. So if you want to be get yourself inside this team, can you prove to us something better than Vicente? So even when you go to the training ground, my assistants will tell you Vicente will score a minimum of 2 goals at the training ground and even assist. So meaning he's setting the bar higher for the other players to come up. So eventually, you look at the list. Bakari Abubakar Bojang was able to catch him up because Bokar also will be able to like score a goal and assist, which is almost a better one. So we set the bar for them. So after the during the screening process, this is what the benchmark we gave them. So they've proved. So after cutting the number to 30, then we have to send them to the MRI. So the players who fail from the MRI are mostly from those rural areas. Sorry for the language if it is not okay. So then we have to focus on the players who are within grade 1 and grade 4. So we have 3 players who are in grade 5. So this grade 5 is different from grade 5 plus. The grade 5 plus can be fused within a week according to the rules in Senegal. So, but the grade 5 itself can take you like 6 months before it gets fused, meaning they will with request for the campaign.
This time around, hence the team went up all the way to the AFCON, going beyond expectation. What is the set goals this time around?
Yeah, the goals at this level of football isn't gonna be set by me alone. So it has to be with the players. So at grassroots, we have to be, I mean, very much careful about some of these things. So if I set a goal here, literally what it's trying to show is that I'm trying to impose a tax on them. And this age category isn't about the resource-oriented base. It's about development. What we want to develop here is like in the next 2 years, we're able to see 3, 4, or 5 of these under 17 crop of players graduating to the U20. So when we're able to get the resource on the way, meaning we're still doing our job well, do you understand? But also we have to be like a case study. I can tell you, in the last U20, when I was serving as the assistant coach of the U20, we had the Sierra Leonean team that started from the U15 in the school football. The same number of players graduated to the U17 that was played in Mali, and the same players, 19 of them, still were kept by their football federation. They went to play the Wafu in Liberia, whereas I was serving as the assistant. They defeated us. So after that, this is what their coach has to tell us. These boys were together since they were playing for the U15. So when they reached to U17 towards 20, 9 of them were able to go out to the professional world. But he was able to get them all back to come and play for the WAFU. So that's why they defeated us Gambia in the semi-final to make it up. So this is trying to show you a theory and a practical aspect of football youth development. So if they are consistent in their performance and able to go to the next level, that is what we are trying to celebrate here. So, but if the glory days comes back, that's going to be a big plus for everybody here, from the players to the whole nation. But we have to also understand that the bottom line for U17 is purposely meant for development, and that is what we are very much attached to. From the last WAFU or AFCON, you could see a lot of these young players from this U17 we are starting to take the next step. So now, how firm can they stand in their next step? That's not guaranteed right now because they have to be playing and be at their best all the time. So what I can assure them is that when everybody converge, all the players from Europe from Africa, anywhere, when we all converge together, we will have our goal setting meeting. So in this goal setting meeting is where everything on the pathway is going to be very much clear. But for me, I can assure you that we're going to have a good performance compared to the previous experience. We're going to have that, inshallah. And I can assure you for that, and the whole nation for that matter.
Thank you so much, Coach. Unless if you have any other thing to add on, we will have you say the closing remarks. Of course, I know the U17 have been the darling of the Gambia until lately when the senior national team maybe came and took that hype, but it's still the darling of the Gambian fans. What would be your message to the fans, especially to the parents of these kids that are luckily selected and will be joining you to Man?
Yeah, the eras are different. When the U17 used to be the beacon of Gambian football. So with now is far different. So you could see in those days players playing in the league for 3 years are still under 17. But you look at none is playing in the league. So I mean it is now much more realistic and genuine before. So to the parents, I can ask from them gently. Administratively, it will be done, like to seek the consent of the parents to allow the kids to travel. So it will be done administratively. But at my own level, I will first and foremost thank them for letting their kids to come out here and so. But again, if anyone out there that your child wasn't able to make it up for the final list, 2018 U17 that went to Senegal, we failed the MRI, was still focused on two not being able to make it up for the list for this time or fail the MRI or the X-ray test. To me, that yes, there is still another opportunity. With this case study, I think most of the lads who didn't make it up, because if I see the MRI results, there was this player that I saw playing in Basse. After 7 minutes, I have to take him out from the scouting because he showed something. Assist 2 goals, scored 1 goal as a midfield player. That was so amazing to me. So, but coming down here and going to the MRI and fail was something that had to, I mean, at some point brings my morals down. But that's life for everybody. But let him just stay focused, and all other players, let them just stay focused. We will keep on supporting them by giving them the rightful advice for the betterment of their careers. Like to solicit from them to honor our invitation of travel with the team, because now U17 now is getting very much. Uh, so on that note, I hope they will be able to grant us the permission to travel with their kids to Mali. Inshallah, that's gonna happen from this tournament. Thank you all for coming up and finding your time to attend this unveiling.
Thank you so much, Coach. Thank you so much, colleagues, for coming, and thank you also for making this press conference.